Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Luna over here. I'm a real estate agent here in Philly. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about 5 things that you should do or you should get it done before you get your real estate license. A few days ago, I was having dinner with Tom's friend, and he said he's thinking about getting his real estate license, and he has a few questions for me. Mainly, he wants to know, as a new agent, when he's getting his license, what are the stuff and things that he should get it done can make him a lot easier to be more hands-on when he did get actually his license. So here I kind of organized and then I conclude like 5 little tips for you guys. The first thing is definitely finding the right brokerage. It's really crucial and important for you to find the right brokerage for you. There's no good and bad. It really depends on your personality and what type of environment that you can get the best result. So for me, I am more of type of person that I like to have more of a hands-on training. I like to get into the business right away versus actually sitting in a classroom getting all the trainings and teachers are teaching you what you're supposed to do and practice practice like scripts and role play and all that stuff. I like to get out there and figure out everything on my own. So that kind of leads me towards I prefer more of a family-oriented, small local brokerage. I have separate videos on talking about big franchise company versus small local brokerage, the pros and cons. But the first tip I definitely give you guys is to interview as many brokerages as you can to see what type of environment that I give and what type of split that I have. Do they offer any shadowing? Because when you're new, it's actually really helpful if you can follow someone to follow their daily routine, see what their daily activities are. When they are a real estate agent, you can follow a lot of things that they do. So that will give you an idea of what you can actually do when you become an agent. Secondly is to practice dialogue and practice scripts and also practice, prospecting habits. So this one, when you are a new agent, you had no idea how the business works and you don't know how to pre-qualify first-time home buyer, investor, or seller, practicing your scripts is important. Because the script, the way it sets up, there is a reason for that. So as a new agent, you don't really have to think about it. You can just memorize it and think about it later. When you put that into action, you will actually find out why the dialogue has been set up the way that is. For example, I'm in the business for about 2 years now, and when I'm prospecting on the phone, a lot of cases, 97% of people are going to say no to me, and whereas there's 3% people might say, okay, well, I am thinking about selling. As a new agent, if you don't have a script, you're not gonna know what to say because you're so used to the rejection. Now that you have the script, you will ask them, the first question is, do you know where you're moving to? And there are 2 cases. One, they will say, no, I don't. I have no idea where you're moving to. That can qualify as going to be a warm lead because it's not a hot lead. They don't know where they're moving to. It's unlikely they're going to sell in the next 6 months. What you do is you follow up with them, you send them your business card in the mail, and you tell them, okay, no worries, I'm just going to check in with you in 3 or 6 months. And at the same time, I'll send you my business card. Where in the other case, they say, yes, we're moving to X place. So once you find that out, you ask them a second question to qualify more. You say, well, what's the ideal time you can imagine you and your stuff out of the property? And they say, well, I was more thinking about 3 to 6 month range. And then you said, oh, okay, well, usually a sale typically happens between 45 days to 60 days. That's if you get an offer right away. So ideally, I think if you want to move in 3 months, we should probably meet, in a few weeks. And then you plant your seed right there, send them a business card, give them a call the next week, try to set an appointment right away because they are what's called hot lead. So if you are new, you don't have a script set up, it's really hard for you to come up with the question right away when you are doing prospecting. Number 3 is to study your market, your zip codes, and also talk to the local buyers. So what I like to do, and I'm an advocate of farming, I like to focus in one area and educate myself into a local expert. And there's a few things that I do to make myself more professional. Number 1, I know my area. I drive by all the time. I look at houses. I know what houses are for sale. I know how much they are settled for. There's a clear difference between how much house went up for sale, the listing price, versus how much they are settled for. When I go to appointment, a lot of seller will tell me, be like, Luna, that house is on the market for $250. And then I tell them, I said, do you know how much they sold for? They actually sold for $225 because they gave the seller how much repair credit and how much seller assist. You're a professional, a lot of things that seller does not know, but you will know, and you have to find that out. Also figure out how many days on, average days on the market, what houses are selling, what houses are not, what houses buyers tend to buy more often, buyers like to buy, what houses are likely to sit on the market more often. And a lot of time for you to find out those information, it's helpful if you can talk to an expert buyer in your office, because they are the ones that are out there and taking active buyers looking for homes. They know what's on the market, they've seen all the houses, whereas if you're a listing agent, you don't know the insights. So definitely, you know, talk to the agents in your office and study your market. And let's move on to the 4th tip that I think you guys should do, is to set up all your social media account. I have 3 major social media platforms. One is Instagram, and then YouTube, and also my Zillow Zillow profile. So for Zillow, I tend to think, who are my buyers? My buyers are sellers, buyers, investors. And the major website that they are tend to find agent is through Zillow. Zillow is the biggest website where people find houses. So I like to pay a service called Premier Agent. I'm still paying for it, mostly just per market myself as a listing agent. At the same time, if I get buyer leads here and there, I'll have my buyer agent work for me and I'll get a referral fee. But as a new agent, it's crucial for you to set up your account, because at the beginning of selling real estate, you might deal with a lot of renters, you might deal with a lot of home buyers. Your failure rate is high. However, you can ask them to write you a nice little review, because a lot of time, if they didn't work out a deal with you, they feel bad, you put in so much work and effort. What you can do is be like, don't feel bad, I understand these houses, these things are overwhelming, but you know what? You can write me a nice review. That's how I got so many reviews on my Zillow page, and it actually builds my credibility when people who don't know me look me up on Zillow. They're like, wow, that's an agent I want to work with. So that's Zillow profile. Also your YouTube page, I like to use YouTube as to document my steps, and you know, I can look back and see how much I have made the progress. I also like to use YouTube as a agent referral website, because the more video I'm putting it out there, I'm targeting keywords, I'm dominating the keyword Philadelphia real estate, Philly agent. So when agents are trying to refer their seller buyer out in Philly, they will think of me as their go-to real estate agent. So that's why I have my YouTube page also set up before I become an agent. And last but not least is Instagram. So a lot of millennials are using Instagram. They don't even have a job application anymore. A lot of time they just say, go to my Instagram page and look at all the photos. So I'm marking myself, it's mostly for branding. I brand myself as a Philadelphia real estate agent. So that's what my Instagram is for and Instagram is about. Last but not least, before you become an agent, it's so important for you to save up to 6 months of income. So I talked a lot about saving money on my channel, and you will only realize when you become an agent you're actually making money how much expenses that is, because the higher tax bracket you are, you're gonna get more charged to pay federal tax and also state tax. So no matter what happens, every time when I get a paycheck, 30% of that paycheck automatically goes into my tax savings account, and 30% of my checks goes into my investment account, just sit there to save for me later on to invest that back in real estate. And 10% of my check goes into my marketing, where I pay for Zillow Premier Agent, my stamps, my postcards, my business cards, my magnet business cards, my sign, lockbox, all that. So if you are in the business, the longer you are, your expense is going to get larger and larger. And keep in mind, real estate is a commission-based job, so your paycheck is not guaranteed and it's not stable. So always make sure you have that buffer, 6 months or 8 months of how much you can live for that long, because you don't know when you will get paid. For me, it took me 4 months to get my first paycheck. So I hope this video is very helpful for you guys and you like the information that I provide. If you watch until this far, make sure you comment fortune cookie down below. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below if there's any other topics you want me to cover in the next video. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching my video. Be sure to subscribe. This is Luna over here, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.